Welcome back to the SimZone for the final championship, the final race, the final round of Season 9, the MOZA Racing GT3 Championship, and we are at Kyalami. And as you can see, Prinzy's just put it on provisional pole. The Porsche, a very quick car at this track. Prinzy had a good showing last time out at, I believe it was Barcelona, where we were at last time. And he managed to bag a podium in the end, but he's currently on pole here and looks like he could be up for challenging for the win for this final round. Got Latonen sat in the pits in P2, Hooschii in P3. Well, the top two very close, just 300ths separating them. Hooschii P3, just a tenth, nearly 2/10 off. Campanella P4, also 2/10 off. Breniel P5, nearly half a second off. Taste in P6, a whole second off. Van Hoorn also a whole second off, just exiting the pits now. And Motin in P8, rounding off the field. Oh, and that's interesting line there, but I believe he's returned the car to the pits because he's put it within a tenth of the top three, all within a tenth of each other, and Prinzy's going to return the car to the pits for some fresh rubber. That is a very close here. We had a brilliant racing between three drivers yesterday in the IMB Raceway Championship, and that was very close battling for about half an hour between three drivers. Just watching Latonen approaching the final corner. He's not on a lap. This is his out lap here. But yes, top three very, very close at the moment. And I think we could see some brilliant racing between the top five even, who are all within half a second of each other. That's very, very close, but Latonen a tenth up into turn one. He's in the curb on the exit, but that's lost him some time. On a bit deep there into turn one, I think. That's definitely lost him time. He's now a tenth down, going through Sunset Corner. And now that's Campanella improving that up into P4, a tenth off the pole position time, and he's now up for an improvement, a tenth up as well, flashing purple and green, so he's almost, oh, he's almost wide there, but he is up for an improvement. He needs a bit more though to just get ahead of Prinzy and take provisional pole. Hooschii now up for a slight improvement. Campanella's lost a lot of time there through Sunset Corner. It looks like he's gained a bit through the S's. Let's see. No, he gained on entry, but he's lost an exit. Coming up towards the hairpin. Very blind corner this. Difficult to spot your braking markers as well. Go down towards Mineshaft. And what can Campanella do here? He's not up nor down in his time. He's pretty even, gets almost onto the grass. through the penultimate corner, approaches the final corner, late on the brakes, and this could be it for Campanella. He is purple, and I think this is going to be pole here for Campanella as he crosses the line. There we go, by 200ths of a second. That's absolutely nothing, but Latonen now is a 10th up as he approaches the S's. He could take provisional pole in the end of this qualifying session with just 2 minutes left to go. Campanella obviously on another lap now, but I think he is not really going to improve just yet. Lonen's lost a bit of time through those S's now. Now a 10th down actually, so the hairpin in the S's, he's made a few mistakes. And yeah, now Latonen 3/10 down, so Campanella now is going to hold on to pole here. Hooschii up for an improvement, but he's just started his lap here, and he's less than a 10th to put it on pole. There is absolutely nothing separating these top four. Prinzi now a 10th up into turn one he goes, and it's just everyone improving. The top four drivers, if they improve ever so slightly, it shows me that they'll be on pole. And Tony's just started on the lap, 10th up. Can he keep it together this time? If he can, it's going to be pole for him. If not, then he'll be staying where he is at the moment, unless Hooschii can improve, and he's nearing the end of the lap. He's a 10th up here. Looks like it's that hairpin where he's lost time. Latonen's now 2/10 up, but is that just because he's late on the brakes? He's still kept that improvement. This is where he lost the time before, through the S's, then up towards the hairpin. Hooschii approaching the penultimate corner now. What can he do? A bit sideways on the exit, and up towards the final corner now. He's 10th down. I think it's not going to be an improvement for Hooschii, and that's his qualifying session over as he crosses the line. There we go, P4 for Hooschii. Latonen's a 10th up. He's got a few more corners to go here, and well, he doesn't need a 10th, but that's going to give him a comfortable gap. I wouldn't say comfortable, but it's going to give him a slight gap to Campanella, who's currently on provisional pole. And here we go, Latonen is going to round the final corner, and he is still a 10th up. He's got a good exit as well, so Latonen is going to take pole here in this qualifying session so far, but it might be short-lived. Campanella is also a 10th up on this lap. That still puts the top four just over a 10th. Just over a 10th, and Campanella is 0.2 up at the moment, approaching the penultimate corner. Once again, using every inch of track available. And what's he going to do? A 10th up into the braking zone. Is he going to keep it on the exit? That's the question. It looks like he might not. Or is he? Yes, he is. And there we go. Campanella crosses the line to take pole here at Kyalami for the final round. So Campanella P1, Latonen P2, and Prinzi P3. So we're into the final round. The standings are as follows. Campanella in P1 on 611 points going into the final round. Latonen in second on 603, just 8 points behind. Faulkner in third on 587, but he's not here today, so I think he may drop down the order. Senator also not here, so Prinzi could have a possible chance of taking P3 in the championship here today. Hooschii down in P6, I believe he isn't able, yeah, I don't think he'll be able to take a podium in the championship. He's on 456 points. Motin in 7th on 423. We've got Bjorkvist in 8th on 399. Taste in 9th on 396. Jordan in 10th on 366. Brunio in 11th on 361. Bitvoot in 12th on 328. Van Hoorn in 13th on 324. And Bas van Wezel in 14th on 315. And Tico, good to see you. But yeah, Campanella taking just the last second, and the top 4 all separated, are all within a 10th, or almost within a 10th of each other, until obviously Campanella put that pole lap in towards the end. But I reckon we're going to have some good racing between the top 4 in this race, and that's going to put some challenges on for the championship contenders, Campanella and Latonen. Now yesterday, of course, like I said in qualifying, we had a 3-car battle for over half an hour in the race, and that was non-stop, chopping and changing positions. Now, there's either a bit of an easier track to overtake at than Kyalami. Kyalami's main overtaking point will be into turn 1. Obviously the start-finish straight, very, very wide. So plenty of space to go for a move into turn 1, but then it starts to get quite narrow. And here we go, onto the start-finish straight now. Who's going to hold the lead into turn 1? Will it be Campanella or will it be Latonen? Let's find out as we're about to go green. And no, not yet. There we go, they're green now. Campanella off to a good start, but the Porsche behind Prinzi off to an even better one as he pulls towards the inside, and he could be looking for a double overtake here into turn 1 already, and with 3 abreast in the background. But Prinzi's got the inside line, and will he be able to hold on? No, he backs out of the move, and the 2 Ferraris stick it around the outside. But that's now Latonen into the lead of the race. Campanella down to P2. Prinzi challenging for a move here. Brennio's moved up into P4. Hooschie's dropping down the order down to P5. He didn't have a good start whatsoever, but I think he's going to hold on just about to P5, and we're going side by side through Sunset Corner here between Latonen and Campanella. Campanella slots back into single file. TFJ saying, come on Carl, get P10 in the championship. Yeah, it's possible for him. But here we go. Brennio's off to a very good start, and Hooschii, after an amazing qualifying session from him, probably his best so far of the season, he's not had a great start. Dropped down to P5, and he's losing some time now to the top 4, and that's Prinzi possibly going to having to go defensive against Brennio here. He's losing time now to the top 2, and if he continues to battle, continues to defend, he's going to lose the leaders here. He needs to stick with them. He had the pace to stick with them in qualifying. Can he do it in the race? That is the question. It seems like the Porsche is still quicker in qualifying trim than race trim. Prinzi's definitely struggling here for some pace, because Brennio's right on the back of him now. And all the drivers using all the curb and the exit. You can use a lot here at Kyalami on the exit. It almost looks like you've run wide, but there's so much curb and available there, and that looks like that is Motin down the inside of Taste going into turn 1. He's going to be later on the brakes. He is, but Taste trying to hang it around the outside. I think he's going to have to back out of that now, as he does. And Motin with a brilliant move into turn 1 there. Up to P7 he goes. Back to the top 2. who are still neck and neck here. 8 points apart in the championship. Latonen in P2 in the championship. And the points for the scoring for the championship. So P1 receives 105, P2 receives 99. So Latonen needs Campanella to finish P3. If Latonen wins the race, he needs Campanella to finish P3 here to take the championship route. To take the championship. At the moment, if Campanella just sticks with Latonen, he's going to be ahead by, well, not 2 points, 1 point, because Latonen's got the fastest lap at the moment, but that's not enough. He needs another car in between them. And it's similar to what we saw in the Friday Championship, where Fischer was leading the race, but Savini in P2 was leading the championship, and he only needed to finish behind Fischer to win the championship, and that's exactly what he did. But will Latonen try and back Campanella up into the pack? I think that's his best bet here. Otherwise, like Fischer, he's pretty much already lost the championship if he stays out in front, or at least pulls away from Campanella. He's lost the championship here. Needs something else to try and help him. And you're now losing some time to Prinzi and P3, but Prinzi also losing time to the top two now. We look down to Van Hoorn. He's got the other Aston Martin driver Motin on his neck, and Taste still there as well after being overtaken into turn 1 a few laps ago. He's going to look for a move down the inside, late in the brakes there from Taste. Almost sticks his nose down the inside, and Motin, I think, saw that one coming. Left him a bit of room before claiming the apex. Back to the top two. Turning, still leading the race, not backing him up into Prinzi. It would be his best chance. Commentate curse who? Pico. Latonen? Campanella? Van Hoorn? I could curse the whole grid at this stage. Both. I try not to, and oh no, Van Hoorn's lost it through the penultimate corner, and he's now P8. Luckily didn't end up in the wall, but he has continued going. Tico, I think that was your fault. That was not my fault whatsoever. But he's P8, still on the back of the pack, so hasn't lost too much time, luckily. That is a deadly corner, and Taste loses the car into turn 1. There was no contact between the two. It looks like it may have been just a bit too much curb, or maybe even too early on the power there for Taste into turn 1, or on the exit of turn 1. And he's now down in P8. That's Van Hoorn back up a position. Back to the top two we go. And still Latonen trying to pull away here. Not the strategy he needs to win the championship. Campanella's now got the fastest lap of the race as well. And I'm very surprised that, well, I mean, it's the same thing with Fischer. He didn't back up Savini into the pack. Latonen's not going to back up Campanella into the pack. At the moment, he's pretty much lost the championship. There is nothing he can do if he continues to try and pull away from Campanella. Unless Campanella somehow makes a mistake. And Prinzi or Brenior end up getting past, but we've not seen any mistakes from Campanella in the second half of the season. Really, it's been absolutely on it, and when you're not really pushing the car, you're just following someone, it's not that easy to make a mistake. But once you're pushing like Latonen is, We've seen him a bit squirrely on some of the exits. On board with Campanella going through sunset. You see, all he's doing is sticking with the race lead on the turn, and he will win the championship. Doesn't even matter if Latonen finishes 30 seconds in front. Campanella will win if he stays directly behind in P2. Latonen needs something special with these two dropping away from the rest of the field. This is pretty much a mirror image of what happened in the Friday championship. But these two obviously have been battling throughout the season. They've become good friends on track and off track. And will that have any effect in the battle for the championship? Doesn't look like it will, because Campanella's looking to get past. The turner going a bit defensive into turn one. Campanella trying to open up the corner and go for a later apex. But different lines for the two. See Latonen taking more of a defensive line into the corners, outing over the curve, and Campanella onto the grass now as well. It's going to lose him some time. But it's not that long of a run down towards sunset. You can see in the background it's still Prinzi and Brennier battling for P3 here. But Prinzi unable to keep up with the top two. But is able to comfortably keep Brennier at around close to a second away. Yeah, I may have already put the commentator's curse on a few drivers. And Hooschii, what has happened to Hooschii? He had a brilliant qualifying session. It seems like he's struggling in the race. Doing 143s here, so struggling for consistency. His best lap of 141.7, so fairly quick laps. Or his personal best this race so far, but really struggling for consistency here. He's been doing 141s, 42s, and 143s. I think that's what he is lacking in this race, and why he isn't able to keep up with the top three, the top four. And it's still Latonen P1, Campanella P2. Latonen's now slowly pulling away from Campanella here. It's not really going to matter for him in terms of the championship fight. Maybe he could force Campanella to push the car a bit more to keep up. I think Campanella knows that he just needs to finish behind, but if he starts pushing, making mistakes, then he could find himself maybe losing time, moving positions to Prinzi, Brennier, even a few more drivers who aren't actually that far back. That's Latonen now taking the fastest lap of the race, a 141.355, 5,000ths quicker than Campanella's fastest lap. Very close. Best lap times from the two. Turner just using the engine braking there. And a bit of trail braking as well to help the car slow down while maintaining that momentum, that speed through the corner. And Prince is still exactly 2 seconds behind Campanella, so he's not actually lost that much time. And of course Campanella's lost time to Latonen. So Campanella and Prinzi lapping fairly similarly at the moment, both 141.5s that last time around, whereas Latonen 141.3. When Latonen realised that he needs to change his strategy here. Plan A is not going to work, he needs to go for plan B here. Just backing up Campanella to the rest of the field. And it won't take that long. Prinzi's only 2 seconds behind. If he parks the car on the apex, slows down a bit into the corners, especially into the twisty sections of the track, through the S's and even Sector 1. Most of Sector 1, you can really slow down the car and cause Prinzi and Brenio to catch up, because they're lapping similar times to Campanella. They're not that much slower. In fact, they might even be quicker on the odd lap. So Latonen needs a car between himself and Campanella here. Prinzi's still staying ahead of Brenio. In the back of the pack, it's spaced out a bit. Taste in P8 after that spin he had into turn 1 was 2.5 seconds back to Van Hoorn, but he's been lapping a second quicker, at least on that last lap. 42.3 from Taste, 43.3 from Van Hoorn, and he might be able to catch up P7 here. Van Hoorn's losing lots of time to Motin as well, 4.8 seconds back, and also about 4/10 slower. As he just crosses the line, Van Hoorn, yeah, about 5 seconds back at the moment. Almost 5 seconds as it says. Taste, that last lap, 141.9. Ace has got some decent pace here. That's not too far off of what the leaders are lapping at the moment. But he is at the back of the grid. That last lap, 143.8 for Van Hoorn. Taste is 141.9. So he's closing in rapidly here to Van Hoorn. We go back to P4. And P3, Prinzi and Brenio. The gap is closed up once again. A bit late on the brakes there from Brenio. You can see he's lost time as a result. Get down through Mineshaft. I think it's Mineshaft, isn't it? Yeah. And up towards Crocodiles. And then Cheetah, which is one of the most difficult corners on the circuit. Very easy to make a mistake here and clip the sausage curb on the inside. But still, Prinzi a second ahead of Brenio. But he's lost lots of time now to Campanella, 2.5 seconds back. And Taste is now a second back to Van Hoorn. He's closing in, and a huge mistake there from Breniel. That could have ended them up into the wall. Very easy to corner to lose it on as well. Especially if you dip away onto the grass, you can fling towards the left and straight into barrier, which isn't what you want to be doing this early on in the race, or in the race at all, really. But on board now with Taste. He's caught right up to Van Hoorn, and Van Hoorn really struggling with that car. You can see a bit of a snap of oversteer into Sunset. In a fast corner like that, oversteer is not what you want. Onto the brakes, of Van Hoorn's really deep there into Crocodiles. Now side by side, 2 into 1, does not go in this corner. Surely one's gonna have to back out, and no, Taste did have to slow the car down a bit there, but somehow they made it through too wide through Cheetah, and Van Hoorn a bit of a mistake on the exit of the final corner once again, and Taste is gonna have a good run. He's got the slipstream. He's gonna wait till the last second to pull out of the slipstream here. And does he do it? No, he stays behind, interestingly. Could have gone for a move there. I definitely would have if I was Taste, but he's looking for on the exit now. Looking to set himself up into the next couple of corners here. Doesn't go for one into there, but forces Van Hoorn wide. The pressure there is paying an effect, and Van Hoorn's going defensive coming up towards Cheetah. Taste pulls towards the outside here. Get a later apex, and he's carried more speed than Van Hoorn has, and Van Hoorn's left the door wide open here, but is he going to be able to hold it around the outside? Contact between the two, and Taste is around. Looked like Van Hoorn left more than enough room there, but Taste, round he goes, and he's got to do that all over again. 7 seconds back, might even be more now. I reckon it's about, I think it was 7.5 seconds back, it said. And that is lots of time lost for Taste. They go back towards the top 2. On board with Campanella now. 2/10 quicker than Latone in that last time round. And Van Hoorn into the pits. Early pit stop there from him. The pit window is now open though. But I reckon if you got any damage from that, he's going to be possibly repairing it. And now changing his tyres as well. What's happened to Taste? I think he has retired from the race. Taste has made another mistake. And he has retired the car. What a shame from Taste. He had plenty of time left in the race to catch back up. But if he'd binned the car and picked up some damage, then I'm not surprised. And no, that's Van Hoorn retiring from the race as well. That's a real shame, both drivers retiring. I thought that was just an early pit stop from Van Hoorn, but no. Has retired the car. But the battle for the lead still continues. They're still around a second away from each other. That Campanella with a slight mistake there on the corner before sunset. Going a bit wide. And he's lost time and almost wide there on the exit of sunset. That was still within track limits. But you can see Prinzi's not catching Campanella at the moment. Or not by a lot. He was about 700ths. Look at that last time round. 7 or 800ths. He's going to need a bit more than that to catch up. Although, yeah, he's going to need more than that, really. And pit stops now is something else that will. That's going to be really crucial. The gaps between the top three, the top four even, not much at all. Losing about 2, 3, 4 seconds in the pits is going to cost a position or two. And Latonen still not backing up Campanella into Prinzi. Now Prinzi is slightly closing in now. Actually no, that last lap from yes he is actually. Campanella that last lap of 142.1. Prinzi that last lap of 141.7, so 4 tenths quicker. He's really catching him up, but the gap down to 2.2, yeah. So Prinzi is closing in now. Campanella needs to put his foot down if he wants to stay ahead and have a chance at winning this championship. Latonen, he could have done something more in this race. And possibly towards the end, if he knows he's not going to win this, he will need to back up Campanella into the other drivers on the field. But he might wait till they have both served their mandatory stops to decide if he needs to do that or not. That's Hatcho now in for his mandatory stop. Rolling into the pits, that means Motin's going to stay out. Yes, he is. He's going to take P5 provisionally. And it looks like Campanella has picked up the pace once again. 41.6 from Campanella and 41.8 from Prinzi. And that is Hatcho back out on track after his mandatory stop. Campanella still sticking with Latonen. It's not able to be close enough to make an overtake, but of course, as we said, he doesn't really need to. And that is the race leader, Latonen, now into the pits. Campanella staying out. going for the longer strategy here. And Latona's now going to drop down and serving his pit stop. Hitting a bit earlier than the halfway mark. Campanella could actually make the overcut work. He's in clean air. And if you can put in the laps, the overcut can definitely work. I'm very surprised that Latona's pitted early. I would have stayed out for much longer than that. Alright, but I don't think there's too much risk of him getting stuck in any traffic. That shouldn't be a problem, but he's going to allow Campanella to stay in clean air. And he can now start to pull away from Prinzi possibly, or focus on his lap times even more. 141.6 from Campanella last time around, 141.8 from Prinzi. The gap's now 3 seconds between P1 and 2. And there we go. Campanella into the pits, Prinzi following him through. It's so easy to speed into the pits. That's Brenier into the pits as well. It's so easy to speed into the pit lane here at Kyalami, and easy to hit the wall. It's pretty much a 90-degree left as you enter the pits. But here we go. Where is Latona? And he's still, well, he's going through mineshaft now. And well, that will be everyone serving their mandatory pit stops. So the majority hitting at the halfway mark. Here we go, Latona approaching the final corner. Campanella, has he got going? Yes, he has. And he's out the box already. Where's Latona? Coming down the start-finish straight, and Campanella's well ahead. Going into turn 1. That's Prinzi. And actually, Brenier's got past Prinzi in the pits as well. So, Prinzi with a bad pit stop, and Brenier's got past. Where's Racy the Campanella? 5 seconds in front. This could be the result of not changing tyres, but I don't think he'd go for that risk. Let's have a look at the pit stop length. 51 seconds in the pits from Campanella, 56 seconds in the pits from Latona, 55 from Brenier. Prinzi is 60 seconds, and I think Campanella is possibly not change his tyres. That's a massive risk, and we'll see with the lap times if Latona is able to close in very quickly. And Campanella is definitely on the old set of tyres, but maybe he's looked at it after them in the first stint. We don't know. The gap already down to 4.5 now. And where is Prinzi? Prinzi's still behind Brenier after the pit stops. Was ahead by about a second, but had a horrible pit stop. 60 seconds spent in the pit lane compared to the average of around 55, 56. The question is, can Prinzi catch back up? These two were very even in pace before the pit stops in their first stint. They're around a second to 8/10 to each other consistently. Now looking at the gap between the top two, down to 4 seconds. Already Latonen has shaved off a second there on that gap. Yeah, these two still a second and a half away from each other. In fact, that's Brenier now pulling away ever so slightly. That last lap was 0.3 quicker than Prinzi. Prinzi yet to get back into the 141s after his pit stop. To the two Italian drivers, P1 and P4. But by no means are they teammates. And now the gap down to 3 seconds. This could be an interesting battle between the two. Not even towards the end. I think Campanella is going to have to start defending very shortly. But with the pace difference at the moment, Campanella on old tyres, Latonen on new tyres, it's going to be difficult for Campanella to hold on here. But of course, like we said earlier, all he needs to do is stay within a position of Latonen and he's won the championship. At the moment, he's ahead. But it is coming down very, very quickly. 142.4 from Campanella, 141.3. That's 1.1 seconds quicker. Was Latonen. Let's go on board with him. Bit of grass there being flung up into the air by Campanella. Those old tyres, a very weird strategy from Campanella. Those old tyres not going to help him at all. They've got 8 seconds, 8 or 9 seconds to Brenier and P3, so not too much to worry about. Now 1.5 seconds. Oh no, we're down to 1 second. Between the two, looks like Brenner's able to pull away from Prinzi actually. 2 seconds between the two and Prinzi. Now into the 141s. And needs that consistently here in this second stint. Try and catch up to Brenier because he's also lapping the 141s. But 0.2 slower that lap. Prinzi needs to consistently lap quicker than Brenier to catch up here. Here we go, Latonen now within a second to the race leader and the championship leader. Going down towards Mineshaft. And through Crocodiles. This is another good opportunity for a move. It's a very heavy braking zone and it's quite a wide section of the track. But after that is the final few corners of Sector 3 and of the lap. It's very, very narrow. Final corner can be a possible overtaking position, that opportunity as well. But it is quite difficult. It's not a very long braking zone. Now into turn 1 we go. Latonen's got some overspeed on Campanella here, but doesn't go for a move. Oh, actually looks for one. Campanella a bit wide there. You can just see how much Campanella's having to trail the brakes to keep the nose digging into the ground so he can get the car turned in. It's just because he's on those old tyres. Look how close these two are now. Latonen looking for a move into the S's, but not really any place to overtake. And into the hairpin, very late on the brakes there from Latonen. Look how much he's been able to catch up, and Campanella maybe a bit too early there. And as a result, I think that's Brennion who's closing in slightly to the top two now. Latonen looking for a move into Crocodiles, but he's way too far back to get that done. Down to 7 seconds, so Brennion, we'll see what he does this lap. Compared to the top two. Yeah, so 142.5 on the top two, 141.8 from Brennion, 7/10 quicker. If he can keep that up, he'll be catching right up to the top two. Campanella, is he going to go defensive here? He's not. Latonen is putting on the pressure now. He thinks about a move, doesn't go for it. Still very, very close between the two, and Latonen's got a better exit this time than he did last time round. So he's going to be in the slipstream, but Campanella's got quite a good exit as well. You can see there Campanella's no longer pulling away, and Latonen's closing in. That's forcing Campanella to go defensive into turn 1. A late move there down the inside from Latonen, but he's going to have to back out. He's been squeezed on the inside, and he has to take that inside line by going for the move. He just didn't have his car ahead enough once they reached the apex, so he had to back out. And Campanella holds on to P1. Used to still very close range lines between the two, but Campanella looks like he's defending his position for his life here. But by doing so, they're allowing Brenier to catch up lap after lap, and that's not going to help Campanella at all. If they get a car in between them, or if Latonen gets past, and then they get a car in between them, I think that's it for Campanella. And Latonen will win the championship, but as it stands, if these two switch positions, Campanella's still going to win the championship. And it was a very strange strategy from Campanella. There we go, Brenier now 5.5 seconds back. What lap times is he doing? Yeah, almost a second quicker than the top two. 9/10 in fact, but that is very close to a second. Well, in fact, it's not just Brenier they have to be worried about. Prinzi as well. Although he's 2.3 seconds back to Brenier, he's lapping in 141s, which is actually just over a second quicker than the top two. So Latonen's now doing himself a favour here by battling with Campanella. Just look how defensive he's having to go to hold on to this position. Now the gap down to 4 seconds here. And we're into the last 15 minutes of the race. Campanella not going defensive into turn one. This could be a mistake. The turner is looking for the move down the inside. He's going to back out of that. He's going to waste even more time now. And allow the rest to catch up even more. But that's wide there for Campanella, definitely wide. Actually, no, that's still a valid lap somehow. Latonen looking for a move into Sunset. He's got his nose on the inside, backs out of it. But it's 143s from these two last time round. 141s from Brenier, 141.5 from Brenier actually. That's close to the fastest lap of the race. And Prinzi a 142.0 that last lap. They are reeling these top two in by over a second a lap. Latonen there's got his nose down the inside. They are, I believe, side by side now. No, not just yet. And they can see now Brenier in the background, 3.5 seconds back. Within 2 or 3 laps, he's going to be on the back of them, and that's Latonen looking for a move down the inside, but no, can't get it done still. And Campanella stays ahead once again. But they are losing lots of time for Brenier and Prinzi now. But this is crucial for Latonen. He needs those other drivers to catch up. But is he going to go for a move now? He is. Down the inside he goes. Campanella's going to try and hold it around the outside, and I think Latonen's got the job done. Not just yet, but he should have the inside for this left-hander. And Campanella, I think, is going to have to back out of that, slot back in behind, but he's got a good exit as well. And they're still side by side, going up towards Sunset. Campanella's going to be on the outside, Latonen's going to be on the inside, and that's Brenier now 2 seconds behind, and Latonen is going to hold on. But he has to now back up Campanella into Brenier. Campanella going for a move once again down the inside, so immediate reply back there from Campanella. And Latonen leaving the door wide open, and back into the race lead goes Campanella. And Brennier now is almost within a second of the top two here. Prinzi catching right up as well. And we could have a 4-car battle for the, well, the win of the race. The win here. And that looks like Latonen back down the inside, side by side, going down mineshaft. Latonen now really needs to get past. And looks like he is ahead going into the braking zone. There we go. Campanella slots back in behind. And he's going to need to back up Campanella into Brennier to put a car in between them so he can take the championship win. How is he going to do that? Campanella obviously on used tyres. Brennier is on newer tyres. So Latonen might not even need to do anything. Brennier might just be able to get the overtake done, but we've seen how difficult it is for even Latonen to get past. So let's see how well Campanella can fend off the likes of Brennier and Prinzi in P3 and 4. I think Latonen needs to assist that with 11 minutes left of the race to go. It looks like Brennier's now not catching as quickly as he was before. And you're still a second back. He seems to close in by a couple of tenths, then loses it. And Campanella is lapping very quick, considering he's on old tyres. And I think Latonen's now slowing down slightly, possibly getting ready to back up Campanella into the 2 cars behind him. And let's see if this is the case. They're approaching the penultimate corner now. And yeah, it looks like we are bunching up a bit more than they were before. That's Prinzi still a little far back in the background. But Brennier within slipstream range now. Is he going to be able to use that to his advantage? He's too far back to get a move into turn 1, but how much time can he gain in the slipstream? Doesn't look like he really gained anything there. A tenth at most. Oh, that's Campanella almost really wide there, almost a bit too wide. And that is Brennier right on the back of him now. This is what Latonen needs. Like Campanella is going to fend off this position as if his life was on the line. I mean, the championship is on the line here, so Campanella is not going to let this up easy. And 8 rounds of battling for the championship, and it's come down towards the last one. But yeah, very peculiar strategy from Campanella, going for the old tire, or staying on the old tyres. He really didn't need to. He's put himself at massive risk here. Brennier's going to be trying to get past. Prinzi's not catching up. Looks like he's dropped off pace slightly in. That's Campanella wide through the penultimate corner. That's not going to help his tyres at all. And look how close these two are. Campanella's slightly wide there. I thought he missed the apex by a little bit. This Brennier did try and stick his nose down the inside there. Hazards going on for Campanella, not sure why, but going towards the middle of the track, heading up towards turn 1. Brennier's going to try it around the outside here. He's not going to be able to do it the long way around. So Campanella holds on. Look how much time they've lost to the race leader now. They're turning with the fastest lap of the race as well, so that's going to be an extra point for him. And when the top two in this championship are this close, 1 point can definitely make a difference. But he really needs Brennier to get past to take the championship win. And for Campanella, he needs to keep Brennier behind. Just 7 minutes left to go. This is going to be the longest 7 minutes that Campenella's experienced. Oh, taking a bit too much curb there. The white Ferrari, but hasn't lost any time. Well, we saw how difficult it was for Latona to get past Campanella on used tyres. It's going to be difficult, it looks like, for Brennioen. Prinzi's now catching up to these two. So this will be a 3-car battle for P2. And oh, a bit wide there. I think that was for Print. I think Printy went a bit too wide, yeah. And now down the start finish straight. Brenny was much closer this time, but doesn't go for a move. Oh, he looks for it at the last second, but there just wasn't enough space or time to go for that. Now the Tonan's putting a lot of trust into the two drivers behind Campanella here. If I were the Tonan, I'd be continuously backing up Campanella into those two drivers behind. Just under 6 minutes left to go. At the moment, it's not looking likely that Brennio's going to get past. I think he might need some assistance here from Latonen, but he's driving off into the distance, 2.2 seconds ahead. And Campanella just parking the car on the apex, not leaving any opportunity for Brennio to get past. And Brennio needs to be even closer than that to go for a move. He needs to be right on that rear bumper of Campanella, and he could have a good opportunity going into turn one. Depends if he gets a good exit out of the final corner. Let's see if he can get a good exit here. Looks like he might be able to. Yeah, it is a brilliant exit from Brennio. They are very close here. Is the slipstream going to be enough? 2 tenths between the two. Looks like Campanella is going to go defensive coming up towards turn one. Brennio's going to take the normal racing line, and he's going to try it around the outside once again, but it's not going to work. And Print is going to have a look as well. I think Brennio needs to go for a move down the inside there. But he's not giving up, is Campanella, nor the two drivers behind him. This is extremely close for the final round of the championship. And very impressive to keep these two drivers behind while being on old tyres. Obviously Kyalami is a difficult track to overtake at. But Brennio has had a few opportunities into turn one. Couldn't quite get it done around the outside, and now he's lost a bit of time here to Campanella. 4 tenths back. Needs to be much closer there into the final set of corners. And he needs to get a good run there into the final corner as well, as he has a look on Campanella. He's just able to brake so much later with these new tyres as well. Into the penultimate corner. Looks like Brennio's being a bit too careful. I think he's made a mistake. Oh no, Prince's made a huge mistake there into the final corner. Big slide there from him, and I think that might be him out of this battle now. I'm not sure yet. Still just under 3 minutes left to go. And Hooschii, yellow flags out for Hooschii. Looks like he lost the car briefly, but he's back on track now. Brennio's so close. And he's looking down the inside here. Campanella on the outside, and oh, they've almost made contact there. Brennio bouncing over the curb, unable to steer the car, but luckily There was no contact between the two, but he attempted a move. It didn't pay off, and now he's lost time to Campanella. I think he'll be able to catch up in a matter of a couple of corners, to be honest. I think especially through these S's, I believe he was quicker. On the exit, this is where the old tyres are possibly going to struggle quite a bit, but no. Campanella still keeping that 7 or 8 tenth gap. Brenier now, with a hairpin they go, and look at that. Much later on the brakes there from Brenier. The gap's down to 4 tenths now. Seems like the last sector is where Brenier gains the most time on Campanella. Possibly due to the very heavy braking zones we've got here. And there we go, Prinzi's caught back up. Almost within a second to these two once again, and that's Brenier looking down the inside for a move, but he's going to run quite wide on the exit, still within track limits though. But Campanella and Prinzi invalidated. They've run beyond, well, run outside of the track limits there. Brenier's got one more chance, I believe. Or is this the last lap? Where's our race leader? I think this is the last lap actually. Yeah, this is the last lap. So this is the last chance for Brenier to get past, and Latonen still in front, not helping his case here. Got on board with Brenier now. Catching back up, bit of a slide, under braking there. Much slower on entry through the S's. Campanella's actually got a much better line through there, even on old tyres. And Brenier's now losing time. Maybe he's just accepted that he can't get past him. Very late on the brakes there from Brenier. He's made a huge error, and that's going to allow Prinzi to close back up. But Latonen well in the lead, and I think this might be it for him. He's actually dropped back now by a bit, 1.5 seconds. He's slowing down, it looks like. 1.3 seconds, but we've only got one more corner to go. And I think this is it. Latonen's going to approach the final corner. He's going to try his best. He should have done this earlier. And maybe he's going to give the win to Campanella here, but no, he's going to cross the line. P1 here for Latonen, but Campanella finishing P2 is going to take the championship lead. Brenier on P3, Prinzi in P4, Hooschii in P5, and Motin will finish in P6. So congratulations there to Campanella for the championship win, and we'll be back in a few minutes for some interviews with the top 2 drivers. So here we go. Going to bring in the top 3 for interviews now. Let's bring in Brenio. I'm not sure if you speak English. No. Oh god. No. Yeah, congratulations on podium and good result. I think I caught some of that. I think for those watching, I believe he was on Thrustmaster before. He's now on a MOZA racing wheel. I believe this is his second race on the second race. Yeah, but you did very well. Very good. Ah, debut on ACC, nice, yeah. But yes, congratulations on P3. So there we go. We managed to get somewhat of an interview there from Bernie, obviously a French driver. But yeah, congratulations to him on his first podium of the season, and a brilliant way to round off the season there for him. Let's bring in the two together actually. There we go. So Campanella and Latonen, bring you in together. What a race between you two. I mean, I would have expected Timmy for you to back up Campanella towards the end into the rest of the drivers, but obviously Campanella, you on used tyres, I believe, and that proved to be quite difficult. You lost lots of time. I'm very surprised you chose to use tyres as well, actually. I think you would have been better off changing tyres, but worked out in the end, and you ended up winning the championship.
Hello to everyone. I didn't change the tire because I wanted to try something different, although being in a championship fight, because I thought all the tires would still give me some performance out of them, but apparently they were that much slow. I could do many corners going wide basically every time. Yeah. And yeah, Timmy caught me up. He started battling with me a little bit, not too much, but I lost a little bit of time there. Then with I had to defend from Brogna, I think, which was really hard to defend because obviously on that tire I had no grip. But at the end, I saw he went a little bit wide, I think in the last turn, which gave me a little bit of free air. And yeah, until the last corner, nothing was going to be decided. And in the end, Timmy didn't even block me. So fair play to him, because he could have done.
Yeah, I definitely thought he would have, especially in the second stint after the pit stops. I thought he would have, maybe once he got in front, slowed you down a bit more and let the others catch up even more. But yeah, I mean, the points at the end, I believe it's 1 point between you two at the end of the championship after this round. Very, very close. Timmy, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's painful for sure, but yeah, I tried to, in the second stint, I tried to harass Campanella a little bit and slow him down, but then I thought, okay, now the gap is like 2 seconds to P3, and then I thought, okay, now I'll just let them do the job, but apparently it wasn't enough. And on the last lap, yeah, it was quite painful. I was pretty much only looking at my rear view mirror, and yeah, I could have blocked more, but then I thought maybe maybe I shouldn't go that dirty, let's say. And if Campanella can finish this race P2 with used tires, then he can have the championship. It's a fair play to him.
Yeah, I mean, you both put up a great fight throughout the championship, and to end it with 1 point between each other, it's very, very close. But yeah, it's a brilliant championship. Pleasure to have you both on the grid, and I mean, we look forward to seeing you in maybe next season, maybe in future seasons. Who knows?
Absolutely. I have to thank you and all the organization for making this up, because it was really great fun until the end, until the last corner. I enjoyed every seconds from it, and yeah, it was a great fair racing with Timmy and even with Ethan and the rest of the grid. And yeah, a really, really fun championship, and looking forward to do one it again.
Yeah, so thanks guys, congratulations to you both, and yeah, we'll be in contact about prizes shortly.
I also want to thank all the guys who made this happen. I mean, these races have been really great, no problems whatsoever. And the streams also really great. And thanks to Campanella for good racing. It was fun throughout the season. And yeah, I hope we'll be racing soon again.
Yeah, GG even to you.
Yeah, I think we'll have a lot more drivers as well for next season. It's weather's cooled down as well, and yeah, I believe we'll have some more prizes on offer too. So yeah, thanks guys, and we will see you shortly.
Bye bye.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the championship. That's it for the season as well, actually. We will actually have some off-season events, of course, but yeah, we're going to have a break. Next season will be in September. We do have the VCO and SimGrid qualifiers up as well. If you're looking to take part in that, that is going to be a huge event. So be sure to check that out. That's on our Discord, on our website as well. But yeah, from us, that's all. Thanks for watching, and thanks all who took part this season. And yeah, good night.